Here's a man who didn't have a rent-a-car to do this, but talking about something wrong with his bank account now. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We not lame, homie. You praying on the sisters in the hood, homie.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, the Handsome Man, Corey Holcomb, weighed in on the Umar Johnson fiasco. Y'all know how Corey do. For those that don't know Dr. Umar's history, at the end of Corey, we give a breakdown of the whole history of this so-called school. Let's get to it.
Yo, man, this is something that has gotten so bad, I couldn't help but weigh in on it. There's a brother, calls himself a doctor. Everybody on the internet who calls themselves a doctor, it makes me do this. What's that Chuck D look? I mean, there are some doctors in the black internet space that are legitimate doctors. Most of them have questionable doctor credentials. It's been trendy to call yourself a doctor. But just like the other doctor, you've become undone. You've become undone. This brother, Dr. Umar, who is a great speaker, uses his speaking ability as a weapon against the lame. What is lame? What's the definition of lame, brother?
Any still wearing FUBU.
Hey, nigga, y'all, man, Craig on this one. All right, can you read it where we can hear it? What is the definition of lame? A person naive or socially inept. He has been working lames for a long time. But there's more to it that I want to put my spin on with it. First of all, I knew he wasn't 100 with it when he faked the phone call. When he was in tour with somebody and you saw it, it's so funny. I watched it probably 1,000 times. Yeah. When he was arguing with somebody and he acted like his goons was calling. He was like, no, hold on, here they go. Hello? No, man, I got this. I got this. Then his phone said, do you know how hard I was laughing, dog? I said, dude, you played yourself in front of anybody that's 100. You can't come back from that. It take at least 5 years of staying away from the internet and a sincere apology for playing people like they lame, for a real one to even listen to that, what you got to say anymore. So, what I'm saying about this is the real problem with a man like this Umar brother. This is the real problem. Anybody with common sense know that this man ain't got no school coming. Anybody with common sense know that. But there's a sucker born every minute. So he gonna keep running his script and absorb what he can from the suckers. This is where he's very detrimental to our community. Not just the fact that he begs and borrows, robs. This is a man who's always talking about black women and how the black queens should be put first, foremost, all that. But I wonder, can he assemble black women that ain't got a this me over story? You're a predator. You use your good talking to destroy the lames and hoes. And there's a lady on the internet he's talking about. He says her stinks. He says all this. He says, oh, she's this. He's accusing her of going in his bank account and getting the money probably. He said, I think she did it.
That's cap.
Hold on. According to this woman, she called him. She needed help with her son, thought he might be able to help. It's game in that. But, okay, he agreed to meet up with her, but he had her drive 2 hours to pick him up from the airport.
Oh my God.
Where he was flying in. Now, if you are a woman who grew up around men who love you, you would never go for that. You can't step to no woman who know what she need to know in the hole past 40. 40 years old in the hole? Well, you need me to come get you? No real woman who was brought up by men who love her will go for that. And if they do go for it, it's because they wanted to hoe out for somebody, which he has fame on the internet. So maybe this woman was like, I'm just gonna do it. Of course, she probably has a son with issues and all that. But when a man tell you, come drive 2.5 hours and pick me up from the airport, and he passed the age of 40, you ain't got no business going to get no man 2.5 hours and drive him anywhere. All my sisters who've been around me and who love them know this. You can't do it.
It is more about them than it is about the team. I cannot play with them, cannot win with them, cannot coach with them, can't do it.
You don't start out in the hole with a woman, a client, or whatever you want to call this lady. So, but this lady did it. Don't play victim now. You invited the devil in. When the devil said, can you come get me 2.5 hours from there? And you went and picked him up. You know that ain't right. Don't nobody do that. Don't. What if you got a daughter and she tell you that story? You gonna know. You gonna be like, who is this fool?
Right.
Who working you? Because that's what he do. He's a professional at working people, but I'm telling black women, beware. Because now you on the internet and y'all spilling the beans on each other. Here's a man who didn't have a rent-a-car to do this, but talking about something wrong with his bank account now. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We not lame, homie. You preying on the sisters in the hood, homie. You act like you down with the sisters in the hood. Here's a man putting his rep on the line, talking about it. You are preying on the sisters in the hood. You are not self-sufficient enough to take on one of these women and graduate her to maturity and where she needs to be in this world. I'm talking about you gonna get lames to do something for you because it's a sucker born here in a minute. But you embarrassing yourself, man. You had some credibility because you a good speaker, but a lot of good speakers do a lot of bad things. And what you doing, man, it's time to realize you cannot live like that and get respect. Begging, meeting up with the sisters, using them. The lady said you had her trying to take care of your mama 2 weeks after you met her. Who gonna put somebody in the house with their mama and you don't know them? Well, let's say you desperate and you throw somebody in there with your mama. Here it is, later on, you talking about this lady who went and helped your mama and went and picked you up at the airport. You saying she broke into your bank account and her thing. So I would say in conclusion to the brother Umar, you have played yourself in front of the people who were, I don't know. Everybody with common sense. We know you're a predator. You dogged out that woman and talked about her on the air. She dogged you out and talked about you too. But you started out in the hole with that woman. And you should be grateful to that woman because you had her around your mama. But now all of a sudden, she done with your bank account and her stank.
All right, y'all. Y'all heard the video, right? The people he referring to in that video been going at him for years, saying where's the money and everything like that. Y'all have to keep in mind that this has been going on for over a decade. And back in 2014, Philly's own activist, Dr. Umar Johnson, announced he would raise $5 million to buy the closed St. Paul's College campus and convert it into the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, FDMG. It was supposed to be a boys' boarding school. He set an August 2014 deadline to meet the fundraising goal. He insisted he already had enough money lined up that year. But as the months passed, however, the school never opened. By 2017, a new Pittsburgh Courier analysis noted Johnson had raised the money over the years to purchase the school, but critics called his fundraising operation and his school plans a scam. What follows is a chronology of Johnson's repeated promises, missed deadlines, and growing controversy surrounding the FDMG Academy. Let's take it back to June 2014. Dr. Umar launches a campaign, like we said, to raise the $5 million. The college trustees gave him until August of that year to meet the goal. By 2015, he claims he got sufficient funds to buy the campus and vows the school will open in 2016. Of course it doesn't. Instead, he pivots, launching a GoFundMe in late 2015 to buy or renovate the St. Paul site or a Mississippi boarding school. Go to 2017. And according to The Root, Dr. Umar raised roughly $125K in PayPal in 2015 before the platform froze his account. Why do they freeze accounts? If people put in disputes that say, we didn't get what we paid for. And the $400K on GoFundMe, they froze that too. That follows the same logic. He still provides no public receipts. The critics are asking for transparency, donors asking for transparency, and The Root criticized them for failing to publish any documentation of how donations were spent. Donors began to grumble that years of deadlines have come and gone with no school. Same old song. Fast forward to 2019. Dr. Umar announces a new site, the long-defunct Morris J. Moore Academy buildings in Wilmington, Delaware, close to Philly, about 25 miles away. He purchases the property, rebrands it as FDMG. Early reports say the school is slated to open in 2026, but construction hasn't started. April 2021, he go on Breakfast Club, and he admits the FDMG still needs $300K for electrical and plumbing work. He blames fellow African Americans for not volunteering labor, claiming if we had some black folks willing to donate their time, the school would be up and running in 3 weeks. He urges the community to donate, even joking, give me your grits money, spent on breakfast cereal. According to News One, although he received $1 million for FDMG, the same missing repairs remain a year later. Fast forward to March 2023. He posts on Instagram that FDMG's first school year will begin fall 2024. He maps out an orientation date and the first day of school for September 3rd, 2024. This is framed as proof that the project is finally moving ahead. June 2024, interview with Rolling Out. He says the school is near the finish line, but refuses to set any firm dates. He says every time you think you're done, something else comes up. So I'm done putting dates on it because every date I put on, it never comes to fruition. He invites everybody to the grand opening, but gives no timeline. June 2025, just last month. He claims vandals smashed the building, $5,000 library and artifacts damaged, delaying any opening. Reporters are saying it's the same signs of the long pattern he had before. 2026 date, 2024 date. Now he says September 2026. Critics are mocking that his dream is now in a ditch and ask again, where did the money go? At every turn, Dr. Umar's school project has been dogged by skepticism and outright backlash. Local news and bloggers repeatedly warned donors to watch your money. We told you about 2017. Pittsburgh Courier bluntly wrote that many in the black community view FDMG as a scam. In the Madame Noir magazine, they urge people not to donate, citing Johnson's kind of rash views on certain lifestyles and cultures. Philly Metro and other outlets call attention to his extreme views and urge accountability from him. People calling him a scam artist. He had only an incomplete 2020 IRS tax filing with about $518K in assets, far less than the donors believed. Nothing since. And even him on social media, y'all know how he do. He be around, he do the interviews, he talk big about the community and everything like that. But even his social media fueled controversy. Once again, on the Breakfast Club, he accused regular degular black folks of failing to help build the school. When promised deadlines fell through, Johnson often blamed others, from contractors to ninjas, for sabotaging his mission. Each new excuse has caused more and more resentment. Bloggers are asking if the vandalism incident might be the crack in Dr. Umar's long-dreamed academy or the spark that reignites a movement, while others question if the project is simply a cover for funding his lifestyle. As far as his video yesterday, nobody's trying to hack into his bank account. They either have his password or they don't. You're not going to hack a bank and his account be the only one affected. Just know that. That's not going to happen. That's not real. Matter of fact, they can freeze and open a new account. They can issue a new debit card. They can give you a new account number on the spot. All of this is like cap. You understand what I'm saying? Unless they suspect him of fraud, not somebody hacking in. Y'all know when you lose your debit card or if there's fraud on your card, you understand what I'm saying? They even have insurance for you where it's covered, and then they'll open you a new account while they investigate. It don't stop you and your daily lifestyle. And how many people, like people that don't have businesses may only have one account, but if you're a businessman, you're going to have a business account. You're going to have several personal accounts depending on how you allocate your funds. You understand? So it just doesn't even make sense to have one bank account and say that somebody's trying to hack it like that and then be asking for, it don't make sense, man. So I don't know, man. I've been looking at it with the side eye for years. I don't speak on it a lot, but a lot of people do. When they ask me, I say, if he ain't got no receipts, I don't believe no school is coming, never did, for real. You understand? Too much talking, not enough action. Never seen an interview with a teacher, any staff, who's going to be the principal, what does the enrollment look like in terms of interest. Nothing like that has ever happened. So I don't know, man. It seemed like the grift is on. So we'll see where it go from here, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Till next time. It's your boy Delta Answer. We out, man.